For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Telling you guys a bit of a review video on a new product from Vango. So this here is the Vango Danu Hub. The Danu Hub essentially is kind of almost a groundbreaking product in kind of Vango's sort of collection. And actually, to be fair, in terms of more of a global scale. Reason being is actually, to be fair, it's probably the first gazebo sort of made for mass market that is used from single-use plastic. So what Vango have done is kind of create this whole kind of earth collection where they take something like waste product like single-use plastic and turn it into sort of material which they can use on tents. So you've got this whole kind of recycled kind of vibe. It's something they've done many years ago and have done for a season, but I think it's more refined now in terms of the colours and the specs, and the price point is definitely a lot more affordable and sort of fits in more with kind of camping or home living sort of part. So that's where the Danu, I think, a bit of a quirky design as well, works really, really well. It uses kind of their eco fabric, so it's a 70 denier, like I said, made from recycled material essentially. So if you were to, each particular product in kind of the Earth collection has a bottle count. So for example, how many bottles it would take to make this sort of structure or this tent as it will. And in this particular, it's 131 of those. So you think, to be fair, in terms of the whole UK, we probably use around about 7.7 billion bottles. So 131 of those into that doesn't really do an awful lot, you know. It goes a long way. And admittedly, when I sort of see this, I've always thought it'd be an awful lot more. So you've got that whole kind of recycled kind of story, which is also a big benefit. It's a good sort of level of spec, sort of about 3,000 mil waterproof rating as well, but you've still got functionality. So it's not just the eco story, you've still got a product that's designed well, it's got versatility, and like I said, a little bit different design. It takes almost over from kind of the Hogan Hub they've done from many years, and it's the same sort of floor dimension, so it's 3.5 by 3.5. Difference being is you've almost got this little canopy at the front and back, so it means you can walk in and out when it's raining without having to worry about it. And probably one of the sort of negative points of the Hogan Hub in many ways is it was quite exposed on either side. With this, you've got two fixed panels, sort of either side, sort of left and right, and then the front and back of the doorways forward. But every single panel has a mesh vent, like you see here, and it also has the ability that you can quite happily open this up. So if you want to just for perfect, almost like airflow, that whole section can open up, so you can obviously get a bit more, airflow throughout there, visibility in and out. But again, if you want to just to kind of connect one to another and sort of have the hubs sort of marrying up at the front, it again gives you a bit more of a nice walkway throughout the whole point. Quite simple to put up. You've essentially got only two different size poles. So you've got your main pole which goes directly over the top and sort of crosses over, and then your smaller pole that goes through there. So from a pitching point of view, it's quite simple to do. What I would definitely do is probably thread all the poles initially through, do the main sort of crossover, the main sort of dome style, and then just put the eyelets directly into the pin at the bottom. Fiberglass poles as well, so it's quite nice and lightweight, but also very durable. The joys, again, if you did have anything go in an issue, they're very inexpensive to repair, and it's something we've seen for numerous years now. The canopy sort of section works really nice. Like I said, you've just got a bit more coverage, means, again, if you seal the sides up and you've got a little bit of rain coming all off and on, you can still leave the ventilation part of the front part here completely open and not have to worry about it sort of landing on the roof and then sort of coming inside. The door itself, like I said, all the panels essentially are included with it, and you can roll the doorways kind of from left to right or right to left, depending on how you see fit. You can either roll it to the side, there's little toggle points here just to kind of keep it at bay. Alternatively, you can create almost like a little veranda as well, so even if you didn't want to use just the mesh panel, you can do that with the sort of 4-zip pullers you got on there. Alternatively, if you really want to, take all the pullers to one side, and you can almost like bung it in the corner, kind of completely out of the way. You've got a kind of a linked-in ground sheet that comes included with the actual Danu, and again, it just means that you can have that complete sort of enclosed sort of space, and you haven't got any muck or mud coming up from the grass. and it's just a bit more of a nicer place. Admittedly, if you have the sort of sides more open and you've got more rain coming in, I would just purely remove that or sort of fold it in half in many ways. But as you can see from the kind of main dome, the interior height in here is really quite generous. High visibility guidelines as well helps to give you a nice sort of level of structure, and that kind of hub kind of system, you know, you've got a good sort of crossover to almost geodesic kind of style in that anyway. But I'll tell you what, let's bring the camera in to the actual Danu to kind of get a bit more of a feel for it. So, like I said, it fits quite nicely in kind of the Earth collection. When you kind of open up initially, you can see you've almost got a big, nice opening. And the colour, I think, to me, is a massive bonus. It's a gorgeous looking colour. You've got normal kind of zip curtains behind there as well. So if you want to, you can just seal it completely against the elements like that. But then you can also have the versatility, you have a mix of match. So you have one completely open, one mesh, one sealed, and one doorway open. So you've got, you know, the best of both worlds. You can really kind of create your own, almost create like a little bar scenario here, where you've just got a canopy you can serve out of, and then, you know, the door itself. Immediately, I'd probably say the two fixed panels on either side is maybe not as versatile as the Hogan Hub, its predecessor, but I still think having the front and back entrance gives you enough sort of space. More often than not, you're probably only going to kind of have the sides sort of zipped up anyway, and the fact they're included is also a big bonus. Traditionally with gazebos, you find necessarily you've got to buy everything additionally, so you have, say, the main hub, and then you buy the side panels as an add-on. So what you've got, what you see here is exactly what you get. You get everything you pretty much need to start with, including sort of a nice oversized bag. But it's well made, well designed, and obviously you've got that kind of eco story, which I absolutely adore. You know, it's kind of a whole 360 from being made to ended up, you know, being reused, and we're essentially making something out of complete waste, which is, you know, very on topic really, and that's kind of what Vango have sort of been very mindful of when it comes to this. Overall, I think a really nice product, something new, something exciting. It's always nice to sort of see some new innovation as well, and especially when it sort of helps kind of the eco story, which is like I said, a big advantage point to this. And from a price point of view as well, it's not actually too different to the Hogan Hub. You know, it's maybe a fraction more, but arguably you've got more features built into this, plus the fact that you've got kind of a slightly better spec material as well. So you pay for what you get for more mesh, more, you know, ground canopies. There's more going on here. So overall, I think really nice gazebo, and certainly one to look out for. If you want to follow the link below this video, it'll take you straight through our website, where we've got all the current prices, pack sizes, pack weights, floor dimensions, all the information you possibly want pretty much is there, as well as eventually there will be a pitching video as well of kind of the Danu. So in everything, that's kind of our little video review on the new kind of eco gazebo, i.e. the Danu Hub from Vango.